Hey everybody, this is Whishup. Now I'm calling the channel Persephone's Joke Shop, just kind of amusing myself, but it's still me. And I wanted to do a pick-a-pile reading because I was just in a mood. So I wanted to talk about circumstances that would have unusual outcomes. So it could be something that you feel is stuck, and it hasn't progressed in a regular way. And so you're looking to see what might happen that's unexpected with it. It could be a situation you've been trying to move and you've tried a few different things and it's being stubborn and it's not going anywhere. So you're looking for an out of the box kind of solution or what will make it move. It could be a circumstance that is unusual to start with. You've got a weird situation going on, and so the outcome or the solution or where it's going from here is bound also to be strange and out of the box. And that's just the kind of stuff I like thinking about and working with. So I thought I would come up with three bold piles that have great artistic visions, and we'll see what we get. So the first pile is Dame Darcy's Mermaid Tarot. The second pile is Gabby Angus West's Bonefire Tarot. The third tarot is Taylor Ellis's Tarot of the Starbound Phantasia, which is my newest deck. It was my present for the holidays this year. It's awesome. Anyway, pick a pile, whichever one is sort of appealing to you. If you have, or if we have, questions that need a little bit of clarity, we need to sort of nail them down a little bit. I've got the Mystical Lenormand deck handy, just in case. That is by Urban Trausch, the artwork, and Regula Elizabeth Feichter did the definitions and the book for it. So here we go with all of the credits out of the way. Have you picked your pile? 1, 2, or 3? We're looking at unusual situations that could have an unusual outcome, or stubborn situations, hindrances that might need an out-of-the-box solution. Okay, these are going to be quick readings. I'm thinking maybe just 4 cards, so let's get to it. Oops, go. Okay, pile number 1, Dame Darcy's Mermaid Tarot. Let's get a look at the situation we're dealing with. King of Cups. So a circumstance that could be unusual with this, because King of Cups upright is generally like quite a nice card to get. It's very appealing, and I'll hold it up so you can see this nice dolphin. And the King of Cups here. And what it makes me think of in this context is this figure looks like Apollo, and because it's a dolphin, it makes me think of the Oracle at Delphi. And the cup suit is generally a very intuitive kind of a suit. So it can have to do with things like psychic visions or sensitivities of various kinds. So if we've got something unusual here or a circumstance, it could be that you have an oracle. So what I mean by that is, you know how we've got all these stories back in time where people get a prophecy and then that's the prophecy, or you see it in movies. You are the child of prophecy and therefore here's what's going to happen to you, and we're going to roll it out just like that because you have a prophecy. Actually, there are stories in the ancient world where a prophecy based on astrology or some other visionary divinatory tactic, a prophecy would be given to one person who didn't want it or couldn't use it or fulfill it, and someone else would come and basically steal that prophecy from them or buy it from them. No, you're not the child of prophecy. I'm the child of prophecy. And the person who had originally gotten the oracle or the prophecy in their name would go along with it for various reasons. Maybe they were under pressure, maybe they were threatened, maybe they were paid off, whatever it was, maybe they lost the war. And so they bow to the other person and say, no, 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 you're the child of prophecy. So prophecies in the ancient world were a really big deal. And they can still be if you feel fated to something. So the King of Cups is a card of great security and emotional stability. So to me, this could mean that you're absolutely sure something is going to happen, or someone is absolutely sure that you're going to be a certain way or a certain thing. There's a sense of something fated here. And because it's fated, like the oracle at Delphi, you may feel like you don't have the power to change it. Or you may feel like someone else is fated. And so I'm fighting against this person who seems to have the Cinderella story working out for them. And I'm their competitor in business, or I'm their, someone who works under them and I'm trying to get credit and they get all the credit. It could be anything like that. Or you feel like, you're looking at a person, let's say you're looking at a relationship, and a person had a relationship with someone else, and everybody thought, oh, that's it. They were meant to be. It's fated. They're soulmates. They're twin flames. They're whatever. And so now you're in a situation where you're interested in in one of those parties, but you're not fated. Nobody's going to say you're meant to be, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like there's a sense here of fighting against fate in some way. Or it could be that there is a fate out there that you would like. You would like to take on this mantle, but you can't figure out how to take it on. You want to be the Cinderella. You want to be declared the king, but you haven't figured out how to take it on. So let's do a few more cards. Sorry it took me so long to explain all that. But yeah, the question of fate is kind of a thorny one, isn't it? So here we go. Okay, Seven of Swords in reverse. That's very clear. Knight of Wands. Okay, I like this. To me, this is very clear. It's going to be a lot quicker to tell you the wrap up. When I get Seven of Swords in reverse, one of the things I think to myself is, you can't get away with this. Seven of Swords gets away with it. Seven of Swords in reverse doesn't get away with it. And Knight of Wands is a trailblazer. So it looks to me like in this first situation, if you're going into something that is set, there's a prophecy, it's very established. Maybe it's a very established role. Maybe you're trying to get a job that has a very established title. And so you're going to get the oracle, you're going to go into that role, and then everyone knows what you do, and everyone knows what your pay scale is, and everyone knows all this stuff about you because it's so set up, it's so organized that it's practically fated what comes next and next and next. It looks like this approach you can't quite get away with. So rather than trying to slide into someone else's fate or slide into someone else's oracle, or try to, another angle here is you could be trying to convince someone to declare you the next successor, to declare you, oh, you are the fated one, you are the golden child, and you're trying to get that oracle conferred upon you. You can't get away with that, but you don't necessarily need it, because the Knight of Wands is a trailblazer. Maybe you should have a little more confidence, or I'm not saying you should, but maybe you could think about why you don't have confidence in your ability to blaze a trail. Like, look, King of Cups is sort of heading this way, but the Seven of Swords is heading this way, and this Knight of Wands is heading the other way. It's kind of like, this is the direction of the established, this is the direction of the new, even though it looks like it's headed backwards. This King of Wands is really a picture of an out-of-the-box thinker, someone who can do their own thing and go their own way and blaze a trail that people want to follow. Knight of Wands is typically associated with Sagittarius, a great idealist, a great leader of the band. Like where Sagittarius leads looks like fun. It's like a great cheerleading card. It's a great coach card. It's a great card for just stoking the fires of other people's enthusiasm. So rather than going into this established oracle, and we can think too about the fact that the Oracle of Delphi is an ancient oracle. So this is something that's been laid down a long time. This looks like blazing a new trail, doing something different and getting the crowd to follow you, not following the crowd. So the unusual situation might be diverting from the traditional path, and almost disregarding who has the title, who has the scepter, who's been crowned, who has the mantle given by some predecessor, and really blazing your own trail. I'm going to flip one card from the Mystical Lenormand just to kind of get an idea of what area this is. Okay, so this is the cross. So it's got these crows. Crows are very oracular, divinatory, sacred birds. And the cross, in this case, is in the graveyard. So this is interesting because cross can be a card of spiritual burdens. It can be a card of obligations. And it just looks like there's some obligations you may be putting yourself under that are really based upon some very old expectations that don't normally or don't conform, we could say, to what your situation is right now. And your situation has to be very nimble, very flexible. The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight in the deck and will zig and zag to get what he needs or wants. Very resourceful, very agile. And this circumstance, on the other hand, looks pretty dead, we could say, right? The crows are picking over it. So it looks like if you're in a circumstance that is played out, even if there is some great title yet to get or some acknowledgement you haven't received, even if you always thought you wanted to be the successor here, or you wanted people to say this about you or say that about you, it looks like that situation is pretty dead. And it's time for you to get on your horse and go have some fun too. Like, this doesn't really look fun. Trying to get away with stuff that isn't working doesn't look fun. This looks like a lot of fun. So I hope that this is interesting and perhaps useful to you. If it is, I hope that you'll like or leave a comment and maybe subscribe. But that is the uncommon situation, which is not, sadly, that uncommon, that you've got to go your own way with. And you've got to, you've got to blaze your own trail. And if this actually has to do with the circumstance that was laid down, just because I do work with the courts of the dead. So if this circumstance was something laid down by maybe an ancestor or a family member, there's an expectation from someone that's in the great beyond, your candle is burning now. So don't waste it trying to, be the sun and moon for someone else. You've got to be the sun and moon for yourself first. So, okay, that's it for this one, reading 1. Let's get on to reading 2. Squeaky floors. Okay, reading 2, we have the beautiful Bonefire Tarot. Okay, So, first card is Four of Swords in reverse. So I would say that the situation we're dealing with, and I love this rendering of this card. I mean, look at her. She is like so chilled in that bathtub, and she's got like her headphones on, and it's blissed out. In reverse, it's not. So it could be that you're trying to get a rest. You've been trying to get a rest, and you haven't managed it. You have been trying maybe to reorganize your schedule. Maybe you were doing some things with the new year, trying to reprioritize some things, trying to, in some way, make your environment more relaxing, more comforting, more restorative for you. But it isn't happening. And it hasn't happened in a way that you're wondering, is this ever going to work? Like maybe you've been making changes and you've been scaling back or reprioritizing for a while now. And especially, I'm doing this reading at the end of January 2023. So if this has any leftovers from the holidays or New Year's kind of planning, you feel like, isn't this supposed to be getting easier? Like I'm doing all this like reordering and restructuring and retrenching. Why isn't it getting easier? I do think because all the planets went direct, it does kind of light a fire under us, but it also means Mercury's no longer retrograde. So possibly if you've been trying to reorganize things and it seemed difficult, or you've been a little foggy headed about how to do it, maybe that's going to get better. Let's get another couple cards and see what's up with that. Oh, look at that. The Emperor. I love that. Also very clear. Beautiful. And the Star. Oh my gosh, this is great. Okay, so this looks to me like whatever area you needed peace about, part of the way that you get the peace is you become the boss and you prioritize your healing, your mental state. You prioritize, like, and it doesn't matter if people seem selfish. It's kind of like, if you know that saying, like, if mama ain't happy, no one's happy. This is a little bit like, if you are not the boss of you, you're not doing anything else well either. So this is a lot about releasing the pressure to be anything but the king or the regent or the ruler of your own life and your own kingdom. If you are still having trouble getting that space that you need, maybe you could consider auditing just on a regular day. Put a little hash mark down, like you put the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you cross it for 5. Make a little hash mark in your hand or on a little, post-it you're carrying with you or in your phone. Every time you start thinking about stuff you can't do anything about. Like when you're working up a full head of steam over gossip about some person you don't know, you can't do anything about their life, and you're busy having this like, hot-blooded opinion about it. You're like, okay, I can't relax while I'm busy raving about this person. Or maybe it's even people that you do know and you are close to, but you still can't fix it for them. You can't take the test for your child. You can't run the project for your partner. So even if they're stressed about it, you can't fix it for them. You can wish them well. You can be a calm pair of ears. But this looks to me very much like get out of the fixing business. If you are fixing for other people, you got to fix for you. And the first way you fix for you is by getting very centered with yourself, feeling very true to you, knowing what you care about, and then proceeding with a great amount of optimism and calm and poise and happiness and hope in the direction of the things you really want. But this is definitely a leave the other stuff behind, and that could be like news that you're hearing. It could be social media that's not useful. It could just be that, you have a friend who's going through a hard time and you want to listen to them, but you're finding after a certain amount of time, you're like, I am now totally drained of all energy and I don't feel rested. I don't feel at ease. Okay, try to think about just how do I attain emotional neutrality? And if I feel after 10 minutes of talking to this person, I'm dragged out, then I quietly, when they can't see it, set my phone alarm for 5 and go, oh, I got to get going, but I'm glad I was able to talk to you. And I'm pitching for you. I'm wishing you the best. And be sincere. You are wishing them the best. You just, right now, maybe you can't listen to everything else everyone's doing. And if you make other people's stuff your business, you're probably missing a great opportunity to proceed, because these major arcana cards are big time. This is big opportunity for you to make progress on stuff you really care about. So maybe don't dilute all of that fabulous mojo by getting involved in a bunch of stuff that's really not your thing. So let me get this here and just see what we've got. Okay. So I pulled the house card. So this definitely looks like a home and family issue. It's stuff close to you. And I know it can be really challenging in your own home to draw boundaries where people are running in and running out and they got their music playing and you're trying to listen to your stuff. And I know it's really challenging, but every little thing that you can do for yourself is going to be, I think you're going to get so much benefit out of it. I think the benefit you get is going to be magnified. Any amount that you can make your environment a more nurturing, pleasant place for you. So that is reading number 2. Let's get into reading number 3. And really, that's not an unusual solution either. Like, I wanted to come up with unusual solutions, but the cards are telling me kind of basic solutions. Not that these are wrong. This is like time-honored wisdom. Like, take good care of yourself, be true to yourself, follow your own path. But I just thought maybe we'd get something a little wackier. But who knows? There's always pile number 3. Pile number 3, are you the wacky people? Are you the people with the unusual things that are going to come out? Let's find out. Okay, a little more unusual. I absolutely adore this deck. I'm thinking about doing a walkthrough of it. Let me know if you'd like that. This is the Page of Wands. So there's slightly different iconography here. Yes, there's the wand, but you'll see the Wands cards in this deck have this like magenta hot pink and these cobras. I just love them. This is such a beautiful card. So Page of Wands is adventurous. This is very adventurous. Got this sort of like white peacock, like almost like an albino peacock. And we've got this person here who looks like she's having a pretty great time. Like, she's not intimidated by the circumstance she's in. She looks like she's having fun and feeling up to it. But this is a page card. So I'm thinking, because it's page, we're probably at the beginning of something. We're at the beginning of something daring. So maybe this is really my like wackier pile. You know what? I'm going to just jump right into the next 2 cards. That's what I'm feeling. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Tower card. This is the pile. Interesting. Here we have, this is the Knight of Cups. So I love the way this iconography is kind of mixed. So of course we have waves, but look at the bright sun and look at the fact that the cup has lion faces. So we see snakes and wands, and we see lions with the cups, which can be a little bit of an unusual mix, which I like a lot. But this, I believe this is, it could be the Page of Cups. I might have to check that. Is it the Knight of Cups? It's the Knight of Cups, I think. Oh boy. No, yes, it's the Knight of Cups. Now I'm sure, because now I remember what the Page of Cups looks like. Okay, this is the Knight of Cups. Sorry for that. But it's in reverse. So, okay, we're into something new. And there is definite disruption happening. Here's the Tower card. I love it. Okay. So you've probably started something and it's not going the way you expect. In fact, there could be a great disruption or something turned upside down. Your plans got shaken up. This can be a really good opportunity to rethink things, because this can be a disaster that works out in your favor, because we're asking how things proceed and how they get resolved. If this is the Knight of Cups, I want to say, in an interesting way, something has happened that looks kind of disastrous, but the unexpected thing is you don't take the bailout. The Knight of Cups could be someone heading your way who's got an offer that seems like a kind offer to bail you out. And maybe it is a very kind offer, but I don't think that's really what you're going for. And that would be unexpected, because so if you think about the beginning of something, like, oh, you're at the beginning of a class, let's say, and it's a class you have to drive to because it's a very hands-on kind of thing that you're learning for some certification or something like that. And your car breaks down, and so some kind person offers to lend you their car or to drive you. And that would seem like a perfect solution, wouldn't it? It seems so great, but you don't take it. Now, let's find out a little more about why you don't take it. You don't take it because you have tremendous confidence. So maybe because this is the Ten of Pentacles, this is like the yes card, okay? And so here we've got this black and white goat. You'll see the goats on the Pentacles cards and the mountains. So here's this Ten of Pentacles card. Everything is together here. Sometimes we think about inheritances and financial success. And so you've got a circumstance that looks like it's not working out, but you don't take the bailout because something else is coming. And something else might be coming in the form of an inheritance. It could be coming in the form of like guaranteed sales. So because this can do with real estate and stuff, maybe it's a contract. So let's say you were trying to make a sale and it really didn't work out, and somebody else was going to help you make a sale or something. They were going to let you in on one of their sales, and it seems like a nice thing, and you're like, no, it's okay, I got it. You've got it. Like whatever you think you've got. And it's coming from deep within your own identity. This is stuff that is coming to you. And you're not going to have to feel beholden about it, if that makes sense. Like this kind of concept of inheritance, and you notice this is in the shape of the tree of life in Kabbalah. This is part of your inheritance as a human being, or just as a person that you are. So instead of somebody bailing you out and then you having to negotiate gratitude or how grateful you are, or maybe it puts you in an awkward situation where you feel indebted to someone who you don't want to be. I mean, the Knight of Cups in reverse can be a little bit of a shifty character with mixed motivations, a little bit maybe they're not completely trustworthy, or they're fickle and you don't want to depend on them. You can depend on you. So it might be unusual to turn something down, but I think you're turning down something. And because this also can be tied with ideas of inheritance, it might be something coming through a little later than you want. So you're turning down the immediate help because knights tend to come in and move. You're turning down immediate help for a longer term solution. And that might not be obvious to a lot of people. It might not even be obvious to you. Oh, okay. All right. So I flipped a Lenormand card, and this is the mountain. So mountains can be obstacles, yes, but they can also be journeys and far journeys. It can just be seen, you can see these people are kind of struggling up that hill. And the idea here is that, you know what? There's a quick bailout solution, but you don't just want to climb the mountain, you want to own the mountain. You want to be at the top of the mountain. And so you're willing to move a little slower on this solution so that you can get the bigger prize. Like you're passing up the short-term solution because you want a much bigger prize. Like you can see even the way the sort of shapes of the rays here, they kind of echo each other, and we've got these two mountains, and even the tower is its own kind of mountain. So this mountain crumbles, and it could be something you planned, or it could be something you were a part of. It could be an organization or an institution you were a part of, and it falls apart, and you get a quick bailout offer, and maybe you're really grateful for it. Maybe this person is incredibly well intentioned, maybe not. Either way could be the case, but you are going for a long-term solution that is going to put you in the driver's seat, where you're not going to be bumming rides forever. You're going to be in the driver's seat. So I think that's what's going on here. So that is it for these three piles. This one was a little more unconventional. The first two didn't turn out to be that unconventional, but I hope if you picked one of those piles that you got something interesting or fun or useful out of it. And anyway, until next time, rock on with your bad selves.